And he ain't gonna
want
want
a love
Nicki
letter?
20 years from now when that booty drop again.
Well, I mean, as long as she got money, she can lift it right on back up. If you guys are wondering and you're not watching us on Periscope, the voice that you hear is the legendary videographer, director, and producer, Choke No Joke. How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. How you?
I'm wonderful. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
So I know that you're from New York and all, and you're in Atlanta right now. How do you like? I'm sure you've been to Atlanta plenty of times, but how do you feel about Atlanta right now?
I love Atlanta. There's just so many beautiful women here. Oh my God.
Yeah, I was gonna say you can't ask a black man how do they feel about Atlanta.
Yes,
well,
I can.
Well, you can.
Everybody don't feel the same.
Well, not a straight black man. I don't know.
I'm sure it's beautiful gay men out here too for the gay black men. So don't judge. This is why you ask questions, because you want to know the answer.
I'm trying not to go there.
Back to our guest. Ain't nobody talking to you. So, your career actually started off as a rapper and then modeling and acting. So, how did that transition from being in the limelight to going behind the scenes, being a producer and a director?
I would, when I was modeling and acting, I would bring my video camera on the sets of the jobs that I was doing to bring it back to the hood to inspire guys to leave the block.
Oh, okay.
You know, so I was doing a lot of cool stuff. So I would just bring it back, you know, to the hood and show dudes, yo, look, I was with this person or that person. And from me doing that, I kind of got the passion of being behind the camera. I was chasing a lead role as an actor, and once I got the lead role in this music video, which was Olu, My World, opposite Bokeem Woodbine, in that video, then, you know, the thrill was gone for chasing that lead role. And then
you got it, so you was like, okay, now what's next?
Yeah, and so, you know, I stayed with being behind the camera, and that's how I became producer, director.
Okay. And you're a staple in the hip-hop community. You've produced for Def Jam Records, Rockefeller, BET, among countless others. So how did you make those connections to reach those companies?
I just, you know, I would go to anything and everything that was hot. You know, whether it was an album release party, a platinum party, you know, the award shows, the music conventions. I was everywhere like broken glass. So people got real familiar with my face. You know, even people in the industry that I would just see them all the time around, and then eventually, you know, be like, yo, you know, what you do? And I'll tell them what I do, and so on, and we'll connect, and that just built my network, whether it was New York, LA, Atlanta, Chicago, Detroit, wherever it was at, that's where I was at.
Okay. What would you say was your first big break? The thing that put you out there to where all these companies wanted to work with you, and you just, I mean, of course you being everywhere in everyone's faces, but can you pin a particular moment where it was like, this is it?
For me to say big break, the first thing I would say would be when I was producing and directing the show called Live Music Channel, and I did a show at the Tunnel in New York City nightclub, and Snoop and Dre were performing, and I did a 5-camera shoot that day, and I produced and directed that show, and then I had ran into Snoop at the Magic Convention in Las Vegas, and he seen the show that I did, and he was like, oh man, cuz, that show was tight, cuz. And I was looking at him like, yeah, all right, whatever. And he like, no, he was seeing it in my face that I ain't believe him. He was like, nah, cuz, that was tight. So to get validation from Snoop at that time, and at his prime, like, he encouraged me to go full-fledged with it. So I would say that was probably like the first time that I really felt like, all right, I'm doing the right thing. I made it. And
you're
then
on the
from
right
there,
path now.
yeah, and then when I got picked up by Rockefeller, then I knew I had reached the cream of the crop.
Okay. So rewind back, you were talking about the Tunnel nightclub, and your latest work is The Hip Hop Nucleus, a documentary on the legendary Tunnel nightclub of NYC.
And which is out right now on iTunes. Y'all could get that on iTunes.
Absolutely. So I don't know anything about the Tunnel. Break that down for me. What makes this club so significant?
Well, the Tunnel is like what the Studio 54 was to the people in the 80s.
Okay.
But for us, it was like the Apollo. You know, you had the roughest, toughest crowd in New York City because all the guys that were in the streets, all the girls from all the projects from all around the city, they would come to this spot. So you got all the gangsters, the thugs, the toughest critics of hip hop in one spot, and you got the people who were coming out at that time, the Jay-Z's, the Nas's, the Puffies in their beginning, you know, touching the stage. And if you touched that stage and the crowd embraced you, then you were out of here. If they didn't like you, then you were out of here the other way.
Right.
Oh, okay.
You know, so like I said, it was like the Apollo for us. But the Tunnel was like going to see a concert that you didn't have to go to Madison Square Garden.
Okay.
You know, so
Yeah, up
for
close
us,
and personal to
yeah,
the
very
celebs.
up close and personal.
Okay, all right.